Hi, I'm John Waterhouse. Welcome to Weekday Wisdom. My question for you today is, what can we learn from a butterfly? In particular, I want to talk about the monarch butterfly. I think these tiny little beings are majestic. They're also extraordinarily complex. The first thing to know about monarchs, which is true of all butterflies, is that they shouldn't be able to fly. There's nothing about the wing structure or the muscle system in their tiny bodies that supports having that ability. Yet they can fly. Some of them fly thousands of miles in their lifetime. The whole idea of changing from a caterpillar to a butterfly also defies biological understanding. Yet it happens all the time. Another fascinating thing about the monarch butterfly is that it's extremely poisonous, not to humans, but to predators like frogs and grasshoppers, lizards, mice, and birds. The poison it has in its body will not kill its predators, but it will make them sick, so they know instinctively to leave the monarchs alone. When birds try to prey on monarchs, they become stunned as soon as their beaks touch the butterfly because of the neurotoxins on the surface of its body. Although monarchs draw nectar from many flowering plants, they only lay eggs in the flower of the milkweed plant. And milkweed is extremely poisonous and can cause severe sickness or even death if it's ingested by humans or most animals. This keeps the monarch, its eggs, and its young caterpillars safe from most predators. Also, which is incredibly interesting to me, is monarchs are migratory. In spring and summer, they live in several areas in North America. One of those areas is Asilomar, which is the conference ground that Science of Mind used for decades to meet. And those butterflies would show up by the millions every spring. So how this works is that in late August or September, when the sun recedes, and this is interesting, to about 57 degrees above the southern horizon, these monarch butterflies start moving south. They fly about 50 miles a day, reaching speeds up to 15 miles an hour. They have an average wingspan of less than 4 inches, yet they're able to travel from several areas of North America south to central Mexico during their migratory season. They increase their body weight by consuming flower nectar before starting their 3,000-mile journey south. During their journey, they change direction many times to avoid extreme weather, but they are never lost. Though most generations of monarchs live only 6 weeks, monarchs that are in the migrating pattern going south live much longer. After an arduous journey of between 8 and 10 weeks, they arrive in the mountains of central Mexico, where they hibernate for 4 months, surviving on their fat reserves. With the onset of spring, these butterflies start feasting on flower nectar to build their energy reserves back up as they head back north. Around mid-March, they start their northern migration, heading back to their birthplace, but none of them actually make it all the way back. While this north to south journey is completed in 1 generation, the return journey going south to north takes 4 generations to complete. With some instinctive internal knowing, each generation continues their ancestral journey north. As each generation continues the journey, females lay around 700 eggs in suitable places along the way, so that when those eggs hatch into caterpillars, the caterpillars will grow and go through their chrysalis process, become butterflies, and continue the path home. It's the 4th generation that arrives home in the north. And as soon as the right time returns, they begin their migration south toward the Mexican mountains. This final generation lives for 6 months, which is long enough to lay eggs during spring. Without this characteristic, the final generation of monarchs would not be able to reach adulthood to lay eggs. This annual migration of butterflies from northern US and southern Canada to central Mexico with such a delicate physical structure has confounded scientists for generations. It's fascinating to know that millions of these butterflies are able to return to the place of their ancestors, generation after generation, over such great distances, and each time arrive in an area no greater than the size of the city of Oklahoma City. Wow. So what can we know from the story of the monarch butterfly? We can know that life is more profoundly intricate than it ever appears on the surface. Yet even with all the complexities of our lives, we can know that, like the monarch butterfly, we are on a profound journey. We can know that we have within us everything we need to be successful, even when it seems impossible. And even though it may take generations to bring certain outcomes to fruition, it's always worth the effort. So we keep moving forward and always giving our best to life. Everything else is unfolding as it must for the full and absolute revelation of Spirit in us and all around us. That's true today and always. So ponder the life of the monarch butterfly for a while. And while you do, have a fantastic day. We'll see you again.